I'm currently the principal at Finley High School. I previously had worked as principal at Roebuck High School for over a decade, and for several years worked as a consultant principal across all schools in the Riverina. I think by local standards I'm probably called a blowing, but I have lived and worked in the Murray Valley for 34 years. And my granddad settled here in Deniliquin during World War I. My dad was born here in 1919. And 4 generations of my family have now lived in this part of the world for 96 years. I hope and pray that a 5th and 6th generation have the same opportunity. I represent the New South Wales Secondary Principals Council, a professional organisation of public school principals. You might well ask, what's the Murray-Darling Basin Plan got to do with school principals? In truth, heaps. The very reason for our existence is our students. These are the group of people that will be most affected by whatever the decision is about the Basin Plan. The full effects of the proposals will fall on my children's heads and their children's heads, and we must not forget this. It also affects my staff. Their future employment is at stake. The value of the homes they purchase in these communities is at stake. It also affects our school communities. Uncertainty has taken its toll already, as Judy indicated. The young people that I work with on a daily basis are not oblivious to the pressures their mums and dads are under, and there is no question that it is constantly affecting them. This is my second stint at Finley High School. Back in 1990, when I was first appointed there as a head teacher, the student population was 720. The current enrolment is 450, a decline of close to 40%. In the Deniliquin area of schools known as South West Riverina, this enrolment decline is similar across all schools. In fact, apart from Albury and Wagga, this is the pattern across the whole of the Riverina. What has this meant for schools? Less students means we can give our students less options in terms of curriculum choices. Recruiting staff is more challenging because there's a great uncertainty about employment. The pool of quality students in each year group continues to get smaller, and so that has an effect on the quality of education. We have many schools that are now so critically small they are in danger of closing, or they are not able to deliver the same quality of education they would like to. This is not some throwaway emotive line, this is a cold, honest truth. The greatest concern for my students is their life after school. Increasingly, they know that local jobs are hard to come by. Increasingly, young people constantly hear about things like skills shortages. But as an example, try and find a building apprenticeship easily in this part of the world. It just doesn't exist. Increasingly, young people are losing heart. Increasingly, they look for work away from these communities. And so, not surprisingly, the rural communities that we live in have less and less young people. The decline in school communities has other effects as well. Less students means less teaching staff, less admin staff, and of course the whole raft of people that support schools, the builders, plumbers, electricians, grocery shops, bus drivers, etc. Their income also disappears, and of course the multiplier effect that has on local businesses rolls on. I feel bemused, confused, and quite frankly angry when I hear criticism as soon as someone makes any emotive response to the plan, or when someone wants to talk about the human cost of the plan, such as we have done this morning. Constantly I hear that the emotive calls, emotive language, emotive pleas, emotive people, that we should all be dismissed as some sort of lunatic fringe because we exaggerate or misrepresent, that we don't produce balance, that we don't understand the facts associated with the plan. I would say, how could one not be emotive when your livelihood and all that's important to you is at stake? I see no reason for us to apologise for being emotive. But this does not mean that we do not understand and we cannot be rational and cannot talk about a whole raft of issues. Few of us would deny that the Murray-Darling Basin has a complexity of issues that need to be addressed. And finding an irrigator who would not applaud the concept of a sustainable Murray-Darling river system. Many of my students have real mums and real dads who are farmers. These are the very same people who produce the quality wine, the quality rice, the quality rock melons, the quality potatoes, the quality grains that are in such demand in our supermarkets. The vast majority of these people are not environmental vandals. They are in many cases hard-working, highly skilled operators who have a vested interest in protecting and preserving their land, and they do so. Why would they not want a sustainable future for their sons and daughters? These people are happy to discuss changes to water policy that will lead to a sustainable future. They would love to see real investment in infrastructures that will save enormous quantities of water that can contribute to environmental flows. I, for one, applaud the announcement this week by Minister Burt of some major infrastructure programs. But then I ask myself the question, why has it taken so long for this to happen? And I would like to think this is just the first step. Let's be frank here. Our nation is currently spending tens of billions of dollars to ensure that Australia has the technology base for the 21st century through the national broadband network. The infrastructure base for our irrigation systems, which in many cases is 70 and 80 years old, what we are asking for is a fraction of the NBN. But it would give this nation a base for huge water savings and at the same time allow for 21st century agriculture. It would create jobs. It would give the young people, and not so young people, of rural communities hope, security, and they would feel that they can make a real contribution. Without a commitment to long-term sustainable development in rural Australia, our future is potentially very grim. My staff, my students, and my community are full of some of the best people. These are the very same people who endure higher fuel prices, higher food costs, poorer medical facilities, and poorer educational outcomes than any other part of this country. It is not reasonable and it is not acceptable for people in rural communities to continue to be treated as the rural underclass. We are not second rate. We have some of the best brains, the best thinkers, the most creative talents, and the best students. I cannot continue to accept that my students and the students of my colleagues at other basin schools should have a quality of life that is less than any student in Sydney or Canberra. How totally inequitable and un-Australian would that be? I do not ever want to be in a school. I do not want my school to become so small, so residualised and so marginalised that it cannot deliver the top quality education as it now does. Yet this is clearly the fate that is facing many of our rural schools. I implore you not to sell us down the drain. This issue needs serious and sustained consideration. Mr Knowles has said today, and I've heard him on previous occasions say, that in consideration of the plan, there are vastly opposite views of what needs to happen and what should happen. None of us doubt this. We accept it. We are reasonable people. We are prepared to compromise. Some of those views, however, come from those whose livelihoods are not at stake. They come from those who do not have to worry about their kids' futures. In comparison, our governments and business magnates are hell-bent on digging up everything and anything from the ground. The environmental issues, in so many cases related to mining, receive scant consideration. Such developments are perceived to be in the public interest and therefore environmental costs are deemed acceptable. This hypocrisy is totally unacceptable. In truth, rural people do not accept that they are being treated with respect. Their opinions, though considered, are often derided as second-rate compared to the powerful, politically powerful and well-connected urban counterparts. And rarely, if ever, are rural communities given the chance to be a long-term solution to the problem. In my 34 years in the Riverina, I have seen the slow but continual decline in communities to the point where we have people saying, are communities under 15,000 worth saving? Is it a waste of government money to keep them afloat? All of this is happening at a time, of course, when we've got urban congestion, rising urban social violence, transport gridlocks, a lack of affordable urban housing, and the need to feed a rapidly rising population in our country and the rest of the world. We have a rapidly declining manufacturing base and a massive over-reliance on a mining sector that has a limited lifespan. There is a clear and obvious reason why vibrant and sustainable rural communities are critical to this nation. In conclusion, I want to give my students and my family and my community hope. I want them to vigorously support the concept of long-term sustainability, but I want governments to give them the sensible, pragmatic means to do so. I plead for some common sense, practical solutions, not those concocted in pristine halls of power, far away from the very people who are most affected. I urge that we include regional people way beyond flying one-day visits. I urge that we include regional people and rural people way beyond fly-in and fly-out 3-hour meetings, way beyond total representation on committees and working parties. Please engage with the people here. Please negotiate with the people here. Properly, sincerely and seriously engage with them. Work with them to find some reasonable solutions. I implore you not to be so naive to think that the people of these communities are unreasonable or unimportant. Thank you.